friends. Mr. Kevin and I were just dancing. I always like to start a lesson dancing, Mr. Kevin. Kindergartners, welcome to your TV classroom. Today is Tuesday, March 9th. Let's check in with our zones.
Zones.
Here they are. How are you feeling today, friends? You in the blue zone or the green zone? Maybe the yellow zone or the red zone? How are you feeling? Mr. Kevin, what zone are you in today?
I'm in the green and yellow zone.
Why are you in the green and yellow zone?
Well, because at TV Classroom here, we've got some sunshine outside.
We do, don't we?
Yeah. That's feeling mighty good.
Are you excited to go be out in the sunshine?
I am excited to be in the sunshine.
Me too.
Yeah. So what's your zone this
I'm
morning?
in the green zone and a little bit in the yellow zone. Do you want to know why I'm in the yellow zone? Because it's True or False Tuesday. I love True or False Tuesday. And sometimes it gets me a little silly and excited. So I'm going to take a few deep breaths and then let's get going. Okay, kindergartners, you have to decide, is this true or is it false?
Ready?
If you have 2 and then you put 2 more on, is it 4? True or false? It's true. What if you have 4 and you put 1 more on? Does that make 3? I think what this person did was they didn't put 1 on, they did subtraction and took 1 off.
Yeah.
They made a mistake. What if you have 5 and you put 2 more on?
Sure.
Is that the same as 7? It is. What if you have 3 and we're adding, so we put 2 more on? Is that the same as 1? They did it again. They did 3 and they didn't add. They subtracted, which is taking away 2 to get 1. Okay, if you have nothing, if there are no apples in the basket, and you put 5 apples in the basket, will you have 5 apples in the basket?
Yeah.
Yep, you will. Today, we're learning what subtraction is. Now, we started yesterday, so before we get started, I'm gonna get my green frogs, and I'm gonna make my little drawing on my whiteboard. Can you do it with me, Mr. Kevin? Can you show the whiteboard? So, I'm gonna make the water for the pond. Water for the pond, and then I'm gonna make my little log with its little log, and then maybe like a little leaf coming out of it. Maybe just some like little loggy lines.
It's a happy log.
It is a happy log. And maybe it has like a little twig here. Maybe there's like a little flower on it with some leaves. That's so nice. Okay, there's our log for our frogs. Let's look at this first equation. There are 2 frogs on a log. And look here. Are the frogs gonna jump on the log or jump off? They're gonna jump on the log. How many jump on the log? 1. How many frogs are on the log now? 1, 2, 3. 2 plus 1 is the same as 3. Okay, how many frogs are on the log for the second equation? It's actually an expression, 2. And look, right here, I'm gonna highlight it. It says this sign. That's a subtraction sign. That means to take away. So I have 2 frogs on the log, and this is telling me to take away 1 of them. How many frogs are left on the log? Just 1. What are some things you can subtract? Ooh, this is gonna be fun to think about, Mr. Kevin. If we were thinking of some stories, what are some things other than frogs that we could subtract? I know, Mrs. Wally makes 5 cinnamon rolls for the TV classroom. We eat 3 of them. We could subtract cinnamon rolls because you eat them. Can you think of something we could subtract, Mr. Kevin?
Well, since I'm just munching on an apple, we could do apples.
Yeah, because you can eat the apples and they go away, or maybe they rot. and so you can't eat them anymore.
So 3 apples.
Mr. Kevin eats 1.
And I eat 1 apple.
How many are left? That's a good one. What about birds on a wire? You know the power lines, and like the birds go on the wire? We could have birds on a wire and some fly away. Oh, that would work. Or what about kids playing at the park and their moms call them to go home? And some go home and some stay. Kids playing at a park, you could subtract those. Or there's so many things you could subtract. Let's see with this one. What does this mean? Today we're gonna build it and draw it. So we're gonna do both today. Are you ready? How many do you see? What are we starting with? What's our starting number? 3. How many frogs are starting on the log? It's this number. This is the whole. How many frogs there were all together? 3. Go ahead, put 3 frogs on your log. Okay? How would we draw that? Now, we're not going to draw actual frogs. We don't have the time. So I'm going to draw circles. Watch. 1, 2, 3 frogs are on the log. You say it. 3 frogs are on the log. And our equation's going to tell us what's happening. What's happening here? Do more hop on or do some hop off? Some hop off. So we have a total amount. We're going to take away the part that hops off and find out the part that's left. We have a whole. We're taking away one of the parts to find the other part. So I'm going to do it with my cubes, and then let's do that with our picture. 3 frogs on the log. 1 hops off. How many are left? 2. Let's try it with the picture. How many am I going to cross off? How many hopped off? 1. Mr. Kevin, I didn't start my timer. First time today. How many minutes have we been going?
8 minutes.
Thank you. So we did that. So we could write the equation 3 minus 1 equals 2. It says, why did you take away one of the objects in our drawing? Why did we cross off one of them? Private think time. Why did we have the frog hop off? Why did we cross off one of the circles? Because subtracting means to take it away. In order to take it away, we have to cross it off or separate it from the group like we did with the frog. Okay, let's go ahead and let's make this a different story and let's see if we get the same answer. Let's use Mr. Kevin's example, and this time we're just gonna draw. Mr. Kevin had 3 apples. Draw your 3 apples. 1, 2, 3. Now we have to take away 1. He eats 1. How many apples are left? 2.
Nom, 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 nom.
We got the same answer. Because this equation says there's 3, take 1 away. What if we do it without a story? What if we just do the numbers and what it says? Let's try. There's 3. Take 1 away. We get the same answer of 2. Mr. Kevin, can you make this full screen for me? Let's take a look and see if we can match the equations to the picture. Let's look at the picture. Look, Mr. Kevin, it's eating apples. You didn't even know. Look at the first picture. How many apples did they start with before they crossed off? 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many did they cross off? 1, 2. Do you see an expression that shows 4 and then eating 2 apples? 4 minus 1. Is that eating 2 apples? No. 4 minus 3. Is that eating 2 apples? No. 4 minus 2. Is that eating 2 apples? Ding, 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 it is. So we're gonna make it go. Mr. Kevin, I went in a straight line and it did that wavy thing.
Wow.
Pretty interesting, huh? My computer's acting a little funny, friends. Let's look at the next picture. How many apples are there before someone eats any? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many apples do they eat? 1 of them. Which expression shows 4 apples and Mrs. Wally ate 1? Let's look at the first expression. 4 minus 1. Does that show 4 apples and then taking away 1 of them? It does. Did it again. I don't know what's going on with my computer, but it's sure silly today. How many apples in the last picture? 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many got eaten? 1, 2, 3. Miss Oslin was very hungry. She ate 3 apples. She's eating apples right now, friends. That's so funny. So let's look which expression matches. 4 minus 1, 4 minus 3, 4 apples taking away 3 apples. It matches. We did it. Okay, now on your whiteboard, I want you to erase and I want you to do the circle drawings like we just did. So Mr. Kevin, can you show my whiteboard? Yes. You're going to separate your whiteboard into 3 sections. And I want you to show each of these equations using a circle drawing. I'm gonna give you about 1 minute and then we're gonna come back and I will show you the answer. Are you ready? Go for it. Make sure that you draw the picture for the expression.
Was this a 2 minute?
1 minute.
1, okay.
Okay, friends. For the expression 3 minus 1, we have 3 and 1 taken away. 3 frogs on the log, 1 hops off. How many frogs on the log? 4 frogs on the log, 2 hop off. 5 frogs on a log, 3 hop off. Ta-da! In all of them, there's only 2 frogs left. All right, friends. Today, what you're going to do is you're going to draw a picture that shows 4 minus 1. You could do frogs on a log. You could do apples in a basket. You could do eating cinnamon rolls, whatever you want. Or you could just do circles. That works too. And then you're going to match pictures to the expression that it shows. Today we learned what subtraction is. We acted out a problem, we modeled the problem, we found how many were left, and we matched the picture to the equation it represented. Nice job today, friends. Mr. Kevin, how can they send us information here at the TV classroom?
Well, friends, just get your parents to help you or an adult to email us at tvclassroom@tacoma.k12.wa.us. Or you can also send something in the snail mail. TV Classroom, 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.
All right, kindergartners. Up next is a break and then reading with Miss Oslin or writing. I'm not sure which one is today. So you are going to get your ELA packet. your learning notebook, your pencil, and your learning buddy during your break. And then when Miss Awesome's on the screen, you're gonna be ready to learn. All right, kindergartners, I hope you had a great time with me today. I can't wait to see you next time. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.
Rules. 1. You have 10 seconds to pick your crewmate. 2. A new timer will appear with an exercise for the crewmate you picked. 3. You will get points for each correct crewmate and exercise you choose. 4. If you pick the imposter, you will lose all your points. 5. Use your math skills to see how many points you can get. Good luck.
Hi, kindergartners. Welcome back from your break. Excellent job gathering your materials, being so responsible, and being ready to learn. You can take your pencil and your learning notebook and put those off to the side. You won't need those yet, but go ahead and hold on to your learning buddy if they're going to help you focus. You'll remember today and every day, when we come together, your job is to listen, share, read, and write. Remember active listening posture, eyes watching, ears listening, voice quiet, and if it helps you, your body is still. And if you notice that your mind starts to think about something else, just give yourself some positive self-talk, a gentle reminder to focus. Focus. Hey, yesterday we studied the illustrations, the pictures, and used what we know about fiction stories to help us read a new story, Where is Little Bear's Hat? We thought about the characters, the problems, the solutions, the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story to help us figure out what is happening in Where is Little Bear's Hat? Today, we're going to pay close attention to the words of a story as we listen and read. Today we're learning that readers use what they know about language structure to anticipate events in a story. Now, what that means is we're going to notice and listen for repeating words or patterns that the author uses to help us understand what is happening in the story and to see if we can figure out what's going to happen next. And this will help us better understand and remember the story and makes it much easier to read. Now, listen as I start to read this story, Waking Farmer Fred by Eileen Spinelli. The art is by Carol Thompson. Are you ready to listen closely to the words? Notice if anything's repeating or if there's a pattern. One morning, Rooster had a sore throat. He could not cock-a-doodle-doo. He could not wake Farmer Fred. Right there we have the problem of our story. Rooster asked Pig, "Can you wake Farmer Fred?" "I will try," said Pig. But Farmer Fred kept sleeping. Did you notice anything on that page that repeated? Oinked 3 times. I even see it. Do you see the pig poking their head in the window? It's there in the speech bubble. Next, Duck tried, "Quack, quack, quack." But Farmer Fred kept sleeping. Sheep baaed, turkey gobbled, cow mooed, but Farmer Fred kept sleeping. It was getting late. Farmer Fred had chores to do. But he wouldn't wake up for an oink or a quack or a baa or a gobble or a moo. Oh, what was repeating on that page? I'm going to go back and reread. See if you can figure out, use what you know about things that repeat to see if you can anticipate or figure out what's going to come next. Next, Duck tried, "Quack." That's right, I heard some of you say quack, 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 because we know that it's going to repeat. That structure is in this story to help us figure out what's going to happen next. Then Rooster had an idea. On the count of 3, all together, 1, 2, 3. Oink, quack, baa, gobble, moo. What did you notice? Did that repeat? It didn't, but it's repeated from the previous pages. So we could anticipate the noises that the animals were going to make because we've already heard them. Oink, quack, baa, gobble, moo. I also noticed that the text keeps repeating the line, but Farmer Fred kept sleeping. When writers use repeating lines and words like that, it helps us predict what the words are going to say. So, what do you think might happen on the next page? Take some think time. Turn and tell your learning buddy what you're thinking. Mabel, I think it's going to repeat, but Farmer Fred didn't wake up. This is the story of, or the problem of this story is that Rooster has a sore throat. He can't cock-a-doodle-doo, so Farmer Fred is not able to wake up. Are you ready to see what happens? Farmer Fred popped out of bed. He poked his head out the window. Good morning, Farmer Fred. Your chores are waiting. I noticed that the end doesn't have any repeating words. But is the problem solved? The problem is solved. The animals managed to come together to get Farmer Fred to wake up. Now, let's go back to yesterday's story. Where is Little Bear's Hat? And it's also by the same author, Eileen Spinelli. I think Eileen writes for young children just like you. And I wonder if there is a pattern in yesterday's story. Are you ready to listen to hear what the pattern is? Okay. Where is Little Bear's hat? Little Bear wanted to go out to play. Wear your hat, called Mama. It's cold outside today. So Little Bear went looking for his hat. He looked in the closet. He looked behind the door. He looked on the shelf. He looked on the floor. He looked in his toy box. He looked on the chair. He looked in the bookcase. No hat there. He looked in the bathtub. Now, did you notice anything? Any patterns? What's repeating? Take some think time. Turn and tell your learning buddy what you noticed. Mabel, I noticed two things. I noticed all of these sentences start with the words he looked, and then I noticed that there's rhyming words. Rhyming words are a pattern that you can use to help you figure out words when you're reading a story. Let's see if the pattern continues. He looked under the bed. He looked in the mirror. Guess what Little Bear found on his head? It does. Bed and head rhyme. Say bed, head. Bed and head rhyme because they have the same middle and ending sound. They just change that beginning sound. Also, did Little Bear solve his problem? He found his hat. How did he find his hat? He looked in the mirror and there it was, right on his head. Today we learned that readers use what they know about language structure to anticipate events in a story. You learned that you can listen for things and look for words that repeat to help you read stories. Today, when you are writing, I want you to use repetitive language or rhyming words to help you as a writer. And you're going to notice in your books that you're independently reading today if there's anything that repeats, anything that you see over and over and over that you can use to help you grow as a reader. We would love to see your writing here at TV Classroom to see how you're using either rhyme or repeating words. Mr. Kevin, can you tell our kindergartners how they can send us their work?
Certainly. Just have one of your adults help you. Email us at tvclassroom, tacoma.k12.wa.us. You can also send it to our headquarters here, TV Classroom, 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin. All right, kindergartners, now is time for our affirmation. This is the time of the day when we get to say positive things about ourselves before we go off to do our independent work. And today your affirmation is, I am a strong reader. Practice saying that out loud with me. I am a strong reader. Excellent job today, kindergartners. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you back here next time in our TV classroom. Bye.
Hey kids, we want to see your work. Just send your pictures and your stories to TV Classroom, 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.